Hey Cowboys Nation, we've got a ton to break down today. And we're diving right into the latest updates from Dallas as the team starts shaping its offseason plans. Stephen Jones has been down in Mobile, Alabama at the Senior Bowl this week, and he's been dropping some insights that are worth paying attention to: free agency, the draft, key player moves, and coaching changes all came up. And it's clear the Cowboys are already strategizing for how they'll move forward and strength on the roster, especially on defense. Starting with coaching news, there's an interesting development involving Robert Livingston, the defensive coordinator from Colorado. He's been interviewed for a role with Dallas, which would be a lateral move from his current position. But it's intriguing because he has a strong background, having spent years with the Bengals as a safeties coach. While Colorado's defense this past season struggled, their performance the year before was solid and included some smart, well-executed schemes beyond just the star players. The opportunity to bring in a coach with experience at a powerful program like Colorado, even for a role that isn't a promotion, could provide Dallas with valuable defensive insight and flexibility. On the free agency front, Stephen Jones made it clear that the Cowboys have plans to invest in their roster, particularly to shore up the defense. Players like George Pickens and Javonte Williams are already on the radar. And while specifics haven't been shared, it's evident that the team is looking at both free agency and the draft to fill gaps and reinforce key areas. Jones emphasized that resources are available, and the team is prepared to allocate funds strategically once contracts, extensions, and other roster adjustments are handled. This suggests a proactive approach to ensuring the Cowboys don't just rely on the draft, but are willing to be active in acquiring proven talent. Speaking of George Pickens, there haven't been formal talks yet regarding a new deal, and the team is holding off on specifics. Stephen Jones indicated that while they want him back in Dallas, details are still under discussion. The franchise tag remains an option, giving the Cowboys some breathing room to navigate the negotiations. Ideally, a long-term contract would give the team flexibility under the salary cap and provide clarity on compensation over the coming seasons. While using the franchise tag isn't out of the question, history shows the Cowboys often wait until the right moment to finalize these agreements, which means timing will be critical. Javonte Williams, on the other hand, seems to be a priority in terms of contract negotiations. After a strong season that marked a clear step forward in his development, the team wants to lock in his services before he hits the open market. Williams plays a position that is demanding and has a shorter career trajectory, making it important to secure him. While his performance and value are high, his projected market value is in the range of $7 million per season, which aligns with other top running backs in free agency. And the Cowboys are weighing the timing and strategy of signing him versus other roster priorities. The defensive side of the ball has been a particular focus. Stephen Jones highlighted the importance of building around core defensive pieces, including players like Kenny Clark, Osa Odigi, and several others who form the foundation of the unit. There's a clear emphasis on keeping these players healthy and maximizing their impact, which means managing contracts, cap space, and playing time carefully. Injuries have been a factor, but the team's vision under new defensive leadership appears to be focused on constructing a scheme that leverages the strengths of these key players. Expect to see formations that utilize multiple defensive tackles and adapt concepts seen in other high-performing defenses. Christian Parker's recent hiring was also discussed, with Jones pointing to his vision for the defense as a major reason he was chosen. Parker impressed with his plans for deploying the team's core defensive assets and creating a cohesive scheme that can compete at a high level. Integrating him with the current roster, particularly the defensive linemen and secondary players, will be key to the Cowboys' offseason strategy. Players like Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Osa Odigi, Donovan Asaku, and Savoni Rebel are all expected to play important roles, and the coaching staff is considering how to align their contracts, health, and development with the broader defensive philosophy. While details are still emerging, it's clear the Cowboys are taking a methodical approach. They're balancing contract negotiations, potential free agent acquisitions, and draft strategy to maintain flexibility while strengthening the roster in key areas. Defensive depth, particularly along the line and in the secondary, is a priority, and the team appears committed to keeping its most important contributors in place, while also exploring options to enhance the overall talent pool. Managing cap hits, especially for players like Clark and Quinnen, will be an essential part of this process. ensuring that Dallas can remain competitive while maintaining financial flexibility for future seasons. The broader picture also includes planning around younger contributors and ensuring that all players, including those coming off injuries, are integrated effectively into the system. Staying healthy will be essential for anyone expected to be a core part of the defense, and the team is taking steps to mitigate risks while maximizing performance. This includes evaluating roles, workload, and contract structures so that both veterans and emerging talent can perform at a high level, while minimizing potential setbacks offensively. Securing running backs like Javonte Williams and managing other critical positions will set the tone for how the team can execute under the new coaching vision. The Cowboys appear to understand that balancing continuity with strategic additions is crucial, especially in an increasingly competitive division. Timing in free agency and the draft will be essential, and the team is planning carefully to ensure that each move fits within a larger vision rather than just addressing short-term needs. Meanwhile, the coaching staff itself is undergoing refinements. The team is looking to bring in experienced minds like Livingston and leveraging the expertise of coaches like Ryan Smith, who recently joined as the quarterback coach. Integrating new ideas while maintaining the system's continuity is a delicate task. But the Cowboys are clearly focused on creating a staff that can develop talent and implement innovative schemes across both sides of the ball. Defensive schemes, special teams oversight, and positional coaching are all being evaluated to make sure the team has the right mix of experience, vision, and adaptability. Player health and development continue to be a recurring theme. Key contributors like Savoni Rebel, Donovan Isaku, and others are being monitored closely to ensure they can meet their potential under new schemes. Some players have had injury setbacks, but with proper management and coaching, the expectation is that these athletes can contribute meaningfully. The Cowboys are also mindful of emerging talent, recognizing that cultivating depth will be critical over the course of a long season. Overall, Stephen Jones' comments paint a picture of a front office that is actively engaged in shaping the team's future, not just reacting to immediate needs. Balancing contract negotiations, free agency, draft strategy, and coaching decisions is no small task. But Dallas is approaching it with a clear plan: retain core contributors, strengthen weak points, and implement a defensive vision that leverages the strengths of its roster. As the offseason unfolds, these moves will provide insight into how competitive the Cowboys will be in the next NFL season and beyond. Continuing with the Cowboys' offseason outlook, let's dive deeper into the running back situation, because Javonte Williams' performance last season has definitely changed the conversation. After a breakout year, he's no longer just a rotation player, he's becoming a cornerstone of the offense. Dallas has to weigh his contract carefully, balancing his production against the overall cap strategy. While projections suggest a value around $7 million per year, the Cowboys are also considering the broader market for running backs, which remains competitive but not necessarily saturated. Timing is crucial, and the team seems intent on getting deals done efficiently while avoiding situations where key contributors are left in limbo. Beyond Williams, the offensive unit as a whole is in a position where continuity and growth need to intersect. The Cowboys have some established starters, but as we saw last season, injuries and inconsistencies can impact performance. Keeping the core together while supplementing talent where needed will be essential, whether it's adding depth on the offensive line, securing reliable wide receivers, or evaluating the quarterback room under Ryan Smith's guidance. Each decision contributes to a larger vision of sustained competitiveness. Offense and defense need to complement each other, and the front office appears aware that strategic investment in both areas will be critical. Turning back to defense, the emphasis on maintaining a healthy core cannot be overstated. Players like Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and Osa Odigi are foundational, and Dallas is clearly planning around them. Each player's contract, role, and cap impact are being carefully analyzed to ensure the team doesn't overcome it financially, while still retaining the talent needed to compete at a high level. Injuries have been a factor, especially over the past couple of seasons. But the coaching staff seems focused on integrating conditioning, positional rotations, and recovery plans to maximize availability. This is especially important for defensive linemen, who face high wear and tear and need proper management to maintain elite performance throughout a long NFL season. Christian Parker's vision for the defense appears to be a mix of innovation and practical deployment of existing talent. With his perspective, the Cowboys are looking to implement flexible schemes that can adjust to opponents week to week while still emphasizing fundamental strengths like pressure on the quarterback, run defense integrity, and versatile coverage packages. The plan includes leveraging multiple defensive fronts and making the most of the team's strong interior defensive line. Rotating personnel effectively and keeping players fresh will be key. And the integration of analytics and coaching experience could allow Dallas to get more out of the same roster. Special teams are also part of this bigger picture. Nick Sorensen is set to return as the special teams coach, and there's a clear expectation that performance must improve. Special teams can often swing games, particularly in tight matchups, and having a coach who can optimize schemes, kicking units, and coverage teams will be essential. Sorensen's familiarity with the organization gives him a foundation to build on. But improvement will be measured not just in individual plays, but in the overall consistency of the units. Every point matters in a league where margins are thin, and Dallas is looking to gain every advantage possible in this often overlooked phase of the game. Looking ahead to the draft, the Cowboys will need to evaluate not just talent, but also fit within their system. Defensive players who can step into multiple roles, offensive skill players who provide immediate depth, and special teams contributors who can impact field position are all valuable. The front office is clearly considering a mix of positions to target, keeping in mind both immediate needs and long-term development. Draft strategy will likely be influenced by what moves the team makes in free agency, how contract negotiations unfold, and where Dallas sees the most pressing roster gaps. Flexibility remains a priority, both in terms of personnel and draft capital. The overarching strategy seems to center on creating a balance between established stars and emerging talent. Defensive linemen are prioritized for continuity, while the secondary is being shaped for growth and long-term contribution. Offensive skill positions are being evaluated with an eye on both productivity and sustainability, ensuring that the team has the right mix of experience and potential. Cap management is a recurring theme, as every decision must align with the goal of keeping Dallas competitive not just this season, but for the next several years. The front office appears determined to avoid overcommitting to short-term fixes at the expense of long-term planning. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are circulating through the NFL world that the Dallas Cowboys might be on the verge of a seismic shift in their offensive game plan, and it could all hinge on one name, Terry McLaurin. After a weekend where the Eagles stumbled and the Cowboys claimed a key victory, insiders suggest that Dallas is quietly positioning itself to add McLaurin to its arsenal, a move that would send shockwaves through the NFC East. Sources close to the organization indicate that the Cowboys front office has been aggressively exploring ways to upgrade their receiving corps, and McLaurin, known for his precise route running and explosive yards after catch ability, fits the profile perfectly. The potential arrival of McLaurin is already sparking conversations about the kind of firepower the Cowboys could wield, with a quarterback eager for a reliable target and a locker room hungry to maintain momentum. The addition of a player of McLaurin's caliber could redefine how opponents prepare for Dallas. Analysts speculate that his presence would not only stretch defenses vertically, but also create more opportunities for the running game, opening lanes and forcing safeties into uncomfortable positions. Some insiders even suggest that the team could be willing to part with significant draft capital to make it happen, signaling just how committed Dallas might be to shaking up the offensive hierarchy. Meanwhile, the Eagles' recent slip has only added fuel to the rumor mill. Their loss highlighted vulnerabilities in secondary coverage and has observers wondering whether the Cowboys see a chance to capitalize on a weakened division rival. McLaurin's potential move to Dallas could be seen as a calculated statement, one that asserts the Cowboys' intention to dominate in both strategy and talent. Social media chatter has exploded with hypothetical scenarios, imagining McLaurin lining up alongside the Cowboys' existing stars, creating mismatches that could leave defensive coordinators scrambling. While nothing is official, the speculation alone is enough to have fans buzzing, ticket lines forming, and rival fans nervously refreshing news feeds. If the whispers hold any truth, the NFC East might be on the cusp of a major shakeup, and Terry McLaurin could be the catalyst. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.